I would like to invite my dear friend, very inspiring friend, Nyakan Munyeki.
This is a very intimate evening because the story of change is not a story of numbers. It's a story of a critical mass of leaders who believe and are willing to take the step of bringing change in their spheres of influence. We have to be looking towards our continent and seeing why it is that we are in our continent at such a time as this. And what is our role in taking up leadership in whatever area we're in. Eagles don't fly in their thousands. They fly alone. And so whenever you're looking at leaders, although everybody should believe that they can be a leader and that they are, but when you're looking at transformational leaders, the numbers are not in their thousands. Tonight's focus is on the leadership. The reason we try to empower women and bring in that diversity and inclusion at the leadership sphere is because it is still very male-dominated. And we need that inclusivity and diversity in thinking, in solutions, the color and flavor, and practical solutions, and the sustainable approach that women bring into an equation is essential at leadership journey.
The Timeless Women in Leadership and Enterprise Mentorship Program aims to work with women who already have potential, even those who think they don't have potential. I have met some of them who have risen into heights. We cannot be united, we cannot prosper, because the vision is of a united, prosperous, I keep saying it again and again so that we don't forget it, and a peaceful continent driven by its citizens. And I think they should have said driven by all its citizens. And representing a dynamic force in the global arena. How do we represent a dynamic force in the global arena when we haven't got our act together? If we are going to influence global culture, global policies, global finance, and investment choices, we have to have a different mindset. And that is the mindset I see in our fellows here. And that is the purpose of TWILE, is to bring Africa to its vision in reality. So the purpose is to build a critical mass of women leaders who will make a difference, not just in their family, not just in their community, in the immediate sphere, but in the continent, to bring the continent to a stage that it lifts itself up to be a dynamic force in the global arena. So what we are hoping is that once you are graduated, you also mentor others. That is how we can raise a critical mass.
You see, when Nyakan speaks about her vision, her commitment to her vision, you feel some energy that's very rare in most people. Yeah? And that energy comes from a very deep conviction. A lot of us have visions, but it's more like good-sounding visions. I'd like to do this by this time. And most of the visions are self-centered, isn't it? Nyakan is not thinking about herself, not even about Kenya, about Africa. Can you imagine that vision? I'd like actually all of us to be upstanding, recognize this great lady of this nation. Let's go. Thank you, Nyakan. The intention of all this program is not to benefit women. It's to transform socially, economically, the lives of all Kenyans, men and women. So whenever we position this conversation, I don't know how you're going to do it, Nyakan, but I'd like that element to come out, because most guys, when they hear about TWILE, timeless women of wonder, that woman's thing. But the end product is you actually transforming the lives of both men and women in this country. The potential for women entrepreneurs and professionals in this country is great. What I'm seeing now is there's a lot of hope for women. I'm seeing a lot of changes. I'm seeing a lot of women sitting in senior management positions. Not enough in the boardroom, But that is slowly changing. You should have a vision. You should have a vision, yeah? And get somebody to help you along with that vision. If you're firm enough, you will actualize that vision.
I must commend Nyakan for the vision that you've carried all these years and sustained it. And I've been a mentor here for a number of years with the program. And every time I have seen progress, every time I have seen improvement. And today you guys just look fabulous. Honestly, you look beautiful. And you have done an awesome thing. It's not easy to keep a vision because there are so many challenges that keep coming. And sometimes you need to give yourself a pep talk that, yes, this is the direction. This is it. I'm not wavering. All I can tell you is that within each and every one of you is a seed of greatness. And it is for you to cultivate that greatness in you. But sometimes in life's journey, the road is not always wide and smooth. You will get meandering roads. The roads can be very narrow. They can sometimes be very steep. Sometimes you will fail, but you should never let that failure define you. It is not who you are. That failure should just help you learn. What could I have done better? And you should not get discouraged because of the meanders on the road. The book of Proverbs says that the road of life winds up for the wise. So it will be winding, but as long as you keep that vision of what you want, that dream, that greatness, cultivate it through your work, through your business, through programs like this, you will get there.
As you're being charged, I hope that you will take those mantles very seriously, that you will look at your flight plans, and that you shall carry that torch very deliberately as you implement that. Don't forget your network amongst yourselves and the network you have with the mentors and all the other networks that you build. I'm very, very proud of you.
I was reminded of a duck that you see gliding on the water, but nobody knows the activity that's going on below the water. I was reminded of an iceberg. Kenyans, we are probably not as familiar. You just see the tip, but you don't know what is going on under. You have done a phenomenal job. And on behalf of KEPSA, the voice of private sector in Kenya, I want to commend you. We come here delighted. We come here to say that it is not so much, and this is the third image I had, the size of the engagement, but to quote our very distinguished Kenyan gone to rest, Professor Wangari Maathai, what is your little thing? What is your little thing? I am completely in awe. I have sat here, I've been edified, I have been motivated, I've had a tough 2 years in business. So on behalf of KEPSA, well done. I can't wait to go and scream from the top of the tower. Well done. Be courageous. No apologies. Be committed to the principles you've learned. Fire yourself around strong character. Kenya needs women of character all the more. Be women of great compassion. Kenya, the region, Africa, needs lens of compassion to see the needs, to think about the cassava, to think about from farm to fork. These are things that you will only see if you wear a lens of compassion. Diversity and inclusion is about wearing an African lens of compassion. There are economies around the world that don't get it, but we do, because first as Africans, we feel things, we see things, we sense things.
I met June in New York during the CSW, the Commission on the Status of Women. And let me say, between her and me, it was love at first sight. Because when I saw June, she was everywhere. The courage, the determination, the passion. I mean, she was just standing out. And I said, I think I need to know this lady. And that's when we spoke. We took a number of photos, and we agreed that we are going to work together. And that's how I am here today. Thank you, June. I didn't know timeless is actually timeless, ageless, and everything that you can think about. This is an eye-opener for me, having seen the great ladies of this country. And I always believe that in Kenya, we have great minds. We have great women. And we are still discovering the women of Kenya. You have been tried, you've been tested, and you've passed. That is why you're holding this mantle today. And please, that torch, it must be used to light other torches out there. I've seen in your focus, it has been on the economic and the social influence of women in society. Please allow me to expand that. It has to include the political influence of women. We cannot be socially empowered, we cannot be economically empowered, and then leave out the political empowerment of women. Timeless has given us the power to think big. I think you have read the book of Ben Carson, Think Big, and you've been allowed to fly. That path must include the political space.
So in the world I come from, when we talk about women empowerment, I would say what June and all of you are doing is something I can point out and say, women empowerment towards gender equality, here it is. And I'm really, really proud that it is happening here. And it doesn't matter the numbers. I want to remind you, I heard a few of you are scientists. Did you hear the word catalyst? What does a catalyst do? A small substance creates a big reaction. So for me, the smaller the number, the more potent the catalyst. And for me, if this program, if there could be a few more Junes in this country, a few more people who are willing to put their time out and develop people, this country would never be the same. So we cannot keep saying we don't have women leaders. We have women leaders, but we need more catalysts. We need to develop a bigger pool so that even when we say 2/3 gender rule is our right, it's in the supreme law, isn't it? Then women of the world, women of Kenya will say, yes, 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 regardless of the opposition. You are responsible for ensuring sustainability of this program. And I want to plead with you on behalf of June, and on behalf of the mentors, and on behalf of organizations like us who are here, who support and believe in women empowerment and women growth, please make sure there are more like you. And this Kenya will never be the same.
Kobia is saying this. I am delighted to be with you today at the 3rd graduation ceremony of Timeless Women in Leadership and Enterprise Mentorship Program. I congratulate you, the class of 2018. I commend the CEO of Timeless Women of Wanda, Nyakan, the faculty, the mentors and the whole machinery behind this mentorship program, who saw the need to equip women leadership to become transformational leaders in the institutions and in turn drive social and economic change through value-based relationships and action. So what has the government done? The government of Kenya has put in place proactive steps to grow the numbers of women leadership. But indeed, it has done so by ensuring that we have more women fairly represented across all spheres in society. I am hopeful that with increased collaboration with like-minded partners like Timeless Women of Wonder, the mentors who are in this room, the mentees who have graduated today, and anybody else who is of goodwill, we will achieve the 50-50 mark in leadership in Kenya in our lifetime. Say amen to that. And you, as the graduates today, are a positive step towards that direction. I once again wish to congratulate the Timeless Women of Wonder, the graduates, and all stakeholders who have made today's celebration possible. I wish you all a very pleasant evening.